60,000 US Army soldiers are currently stationed in the desert. They've made base camp in an ancient Crusader fort ruin. And in doing so, they've opened a portal to the Crusader armies. But not just that, a portal to every medieval army. 8 million soldiers from every single medieval army have gathered through the portal and are about to charge the American defense. Can the US Army survive the siege in this tiny little fort here against all of these medieval units here, or will they die? If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below other scenarios you'd like to see in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. Either way, let's get into it here. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alrighty then, boys, let's go ahead and press start right here and get this battle underway. So this is the initial fort here, which has sea whizzes firing away already, as well as a few of these missile systems back here that hopefully will be able to do quite a bit of damage to this medieval army. But then further to the right over here, we have actually some attacking US Army soldiers, 30,000 of them to be exact. Ooh, little bit of lag right there. As well as 200 M1A2 Abrams backing them up. So as you can see, these Abrams are already going up against some of these Celtic warriors up here who are full-on death charging them. Now, you can see other of these M1A2 Abrams and US Army soldiers are actually going to the back lines over here. The reason is there's 500,000 Mongolian soldiers flanking the entirety of the US Army base camp here. This is a multifaceted battle, boys. Looks like a few of these Mongolians are actually getting danger close to the corners of the US Army soldiers over this way. So we might expect to see some US Army losses here early on, but the middle section is holding them at bay extremely easily. Now the rest of the 7.5 million medieval units are obviously over here. Quite a vast sea of enemies charging on forward here. A lot of them getting right up close and personal to some of these M1A2 Abrams over here extremely early on. Some of them, in fact, taking some serious damage, as most of the modern US Army soldiers are either further to the left over that way or back there dealing with Mongolians. Now, the fort up here looks like it's actually already getting pretty heavily attacked, but I'm not too worried about it. The front is actually the weakest point of the fort. Of course, the back lines here have some of these free-roaming modern US soldiers, which is helpful, and the missile systems, which clearly are doing some serious damage. The sea whizzes on the corners over this way. And then the front lines has this beautiful choke point right here in the doorway, where obviously we have some Celtic warriors, some Saxons, and French men-at-arms coming up here and attacking. There are also Templar knights, Roman centurions, we have of course the Mongolians, the English halberdsmen are also in this, archers, heavy knights, crusader knights, that are different than the Templar Knights. But either way, there's a ton of different medieval factions in this. I think there's a few more I missed. Oh, there's also catapults, but they're in the way back. So that'll definitely be a challenge, because there's 60,000 catapults that will be coming forward. These sea whizzes over here dealing with some French men-at-arms. Oh my god, that might have been overkill on one French soldier right there. But then even further back up on this mountainside is going to be the ghillie suit snipers, who obviously have extreme range. So you can see their bullets are going way back here, zipping into a multitude of different medieval soldiers all the way in the back this way, getting early kills to help out the guys later on. You can see there's some dead bodies in here. I'm sure these are either from stray sea whiz shots or more than likely from sniper shots in the way back there. So it is an interesting setup of the fort here, and we'll see if it pays off. A few of the modern soldiers did get caught outside of the fort over this way. That's just how the game spawns in units, so they are going down pretty quickly here to Saxons, Celts, and Frenchmen. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a slaughter for these boys, but at the very least, they're getting some kills, so that's helpful. Let's go ahead and check on the stats, and already we are at 6.4 million remaining medieval units, meaning 1.6 million have died on the battlefield, and we have 59,600 remaining U.S. Army units. Now, to be exact, I believe the medieval units started with 7.8 million, 200,000, I believe, didn't spawn in, and then I think some on this map end up spawning in and dying pretty quickly because they spawn in the ocean. Not over here. Oh, we got a lag spike. Oh, lordy. Okay, maybe that didn't actually happen. I've had that happen in the past where folks spawn in. Oh, it happened over here. Yeah, you can see a few thousand died over here from drowning, but it's not going to have too big of an impact on their numbers. They still do have 6.2 million remaining soldiers now, and they have gotten 3,300 kills on the modern U.S. Army here, and I think their kills will only go up as the archers get to the forefront of the battlefield, as well as those catapults in the way back getting to the front lines is going to be devastating. Also, if the medieval army manages to kill these free roamers, that'll be a very big deal. It looks like most of the Mongolians over here are dying out. Yeah, they're not lasting for too long. They're doing some good death charges here, but it's just not enough. There's too many free roaming US soldiers over here, and eventually these guys will all peel back and go fight against the front lines of the medieval army. But I do think the Mongolians must have gotten at least a few hundred kills here, considering the fact that they're right up against the U.S. Army lines. So I think they did a decent enough job. And on top of that, they distracted a lot of U.S. Army soldiers for a solid like 6 or 7 minutes here, which is not bad in the slightest. So these guys will die out. And then those modern U.S. Army soldiers will go to join the front lines over here, where, in fact, I think they're kind of needed. Right in this middle chunk, we just have tanks all on their own here, taking huge amounts of damage. Obviously, it takes a really long time to actually go ahead and kill these tanks, but still, there are just tons and tons of medieval soldiers going in here, doing damage to them. Likely, these tanks will start going down very, very soon. But the mass concentration of medieval units is going towards the middle fortifications over here. Let's see how the choke point is holding up. Alright, it's doing actually quite well. Look at this. Modern U.S. Army soldiers just spraying them down. There's also some sea whizzes inside of the fort here, which are also pouring fire down that middle line right there. Holy cow, they are absolutely devastating the charging medieval units. Oh my gubernatorial. Look at this. Holy cow. Dear Lord, that is rough. That is a tough, tough thing to see over there. And Sea Whiz is over here actually holding their own against quite a number of French soldiers charging them currently. The reason I think they're able to do that is because they also have missile systems and ghillie suit snipers behind them backing them up, which just makes things a smidge easier. Over here, a lot of these modern soldiers have backed even farther up, as more and more French and Celts end up coming on in here and attacking. But again, we have a whole sea of medieval soldiers coming forward here, and there will be different armies coming up, different units. It's gonna start getting... Ooh, weird glitchy camera right there. It's gonna start getting very, very difficult for the modern army, I think, as time goes on. 5.6 million remaining medieval soldiers and 57,200 remaining U.S. Army soldiers. Let's go ahead and time-lapse over here for a little bit and watch the killing fields progress as the tanks and the U.S. Army footmen over here fight against continuing swarms of knights. Alright, well, that was a 3-minute time-lapse right there, and we can see the U.S. Army is actually advancing on the medieval units over this way. Looks like we have some new units in the battlefield here. I'm seeing, it looks like some barbarians as well as heavy knights in here. So, pretty cool to see. I'm also seeing arrows fly, so yes, we do have archers coming to the front lines. I think that will help out a ton for the medieval units. And back here, are there some like glitched Mongolians or something? Yeah, there are a couple glitched Mongolians. I'll try and move them. Oh, wait. Nope, the tanks are in the way. Alright, I tried. You guys are on your own. Either kill those Mongolians or continue to be glitched fighting them forever. The curse of the Mongolians. Yeah, wow. Okay, so this middle line here, still just constant attacks from some French over this way. And actually at the base here, let's see how this is doing. Alright. U.S. Army has been pushed back a smidge, but this choke point is still holding on extraordinarily tight. The Sea Whizzes over here, actually, a lot of them have died. Look at that. Yeah, tons and tons of units strolling on in here, killing a few Sea Whizzes, and starting to potentially open up this second flank over here. And also, they're taking care of a bunch of these missile units over this way. That is going to be problematic because those are a big killing machine for the U.S. Army there. So very, very devastating for them. Let's see what's coming in back this way. Okay, we got some Templar Knights, Romans, archers. We got a lot of variety coming in back this way. I believe the catapults will be like way in the back. I just spawned them in the back lines. Yeah, they're way back here, so they're still coming forward. There's a lot of them. Look at that. Look at all those catapults. So that will definitely be a danger later on for the U.S. Army troopers. But for now, 4.65 million remaining medieval soldiers and 55,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers. Let's go ahead and do an overhead time-lapse of the battlefield here. Watch the fort, and then we can also see the free roamers in the back there. Alright, boys, another 6 minutes just passed right there. We're at 3.5 million remaining medieval units on the battlefield right now. We got a big charge going through this doorway here, which is getting legs back. It's getting curb stomped right now by Sea Whizzes as well as a number of modern soldiers. Oh my goodness, what? The lag is increasing. We're just frozen. Oh lord. Okay, we're good. And then over this way, the right side is still holding fine, and that's probably because they have the free roaming modern US units over here as well. So that's probably assisting quite a bit. We do have some dead M1A2 Abrams on the battlefield. Many more are still alive, but there are a few ones that have died and shot their last shot. Rip to them. And still a lot of these guys are trying to kill the immortal Mongolians over this way, interestingly enough. So that's a bit strange. But the free roaming US soldiers over here still managing to do some very big things and distract a large portion of the oncoming medieval army here. But still, 3.43 million medieval soldiers left alive is nothing to scoff at and will take quite some time to get through. I do see more arrow fire going through the air. Over here, yeah, there it is. So lots of arrows, lots of archers firing said arrows over this way. Catapults are not even close to the front lines now, so they are not going to be impacting the battle just yet. But why don't we go ahead and watch the time-lapse of the front door here as just tons and tons of medieval soldiers come through here and create some crazy body piles. Medieval units actually have made a smidge more progress here against the U.S. Army, but U.S. Army is still holding pretty firm. Where are the... Oh my god, lag spike. What is going on? Where are the... Brother! Must be when I move around too much. Okay, there are catapults all the way back here. Oh! The background fire from the U.S. Army is enough to get kills on the catapults periodically, preventing them from actually reaching the front line. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so that big reinforcement that the medieval units have been expecting this whole time may not be happening. Exactly. They might not be getting that one. Yikes. Ugh. Over this way, still a few tanks alive, but a ton of them are dead, and there are still quite a number of U.S. Army soldiers over this way, but they're getting pretty bloodied. I think the arrow fire is starting to take its toll on them a little bit more, but really over here is the main portion of the battle that is going to be pivotal, and they are just holding perfectly fine right now, so I am not too worried about this. Let's go ahead and time-lapse, but I think this battle is just going to be a U.S. victory here. Let's allow it to play out and see what happens, but we're definitely going to have to run this back and put the catapults at the front and just see what happens if we adjust the battle a little bit after this one. Alright, boys, 1.3 million remaining medieval soldiers here. Yeah, they going down. They going down big time. 32,000 U.S. Army soldiers remaining. So the medieval troops did end up killing half of the U.S. Army, which is fairly decent. I mean, that's not horrible. Of course, we still have all these guys over here being stupid. It seems like actually everyone over here died, and a lot of the tanks did die too, it seems. So that's some progress by the medieval units, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, it do be tough out here. It do be tough out here. All right, let's continue the time lapse until the end. Honestly, guys, this is one of the best examples of it's not over until it's over, because currently there's only 17,000 remaining defenders. Look, we got some samurai coming in, which is pretty baller. I don't think we've ever actually used the samurai units before, so that's pretty sweet to see. And look at this. They've carved their path all the way into here. 16,871 defenders remaining. It looks like a solid number of ghillie suit snipers over here have died. There's still U.S. Army soldiers back this way. However, they're getting charged by Templar Knights and footmen and stuff like that, so that's gonna be a little bit rough. And then I think all the... No, not all the missile systems are dead. Nice, and ghillie suit snipers still alive back there, so definitely some progress being made by the medieval units. 614,000 of them remaining, but still I don't think it's going to be enough. We will let this play out, but I don't know. We'll see. 16,500 modern units remaining. Wow. Okay, there might not be a need for a second battle, because currently we're seeing the U.S. Army kind of getting curb stomped here. I mean, at the moment, there's 4,839 of these guys left alive. And there's 233,000 medieval units still alive. So right now, the medieval army has made one of the greatest comebacks we have seen in the history of this channel. I genuinely don't know who's going to win this battle. It could be still the U.S. Army. I mean, let's not lie, they're still absolutely goated with the sauce. But at the same time, they went from having 30,000 units against like 600,000 to now having 4,789 against 230,000 enemies. The math is not mathing well. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. The body bridges are absolutely massive, allowing these guys to kind of go over the wall. Yikes. Maybe it just took the samurai to get... I've never used the samurai. Are they like super OP? No, they're only 500 health. They're the same as pretty much every other unit. I mean, the bowmen are powerful. They're good. They're ranged, so that's nice. But at the same time, I don't see them being effective enough. Especially because U.S. soldiers have armor to them, so it's like 1 in every 4 arrows actually hit. The rest sort of bounce off their armor. So I don't see that being effective enough to really kill that many. I don't know, man. Things are just going horrible right now for these guys. Really bad. I'm guessing, yeah, all the ghillie suits are dead over here. Oh, up on the hilltop here is just arrow fire going into the fort. Who built the fort lower than the highest point on the hill is the real question. Whoever did that was dumb. That was really stupid of them. But they did that, and now we got to deal with it, man. Holy cow, this is rough indeed. All right, well, let's continue to watch, because this is one insane battle. 228,000 medieval units left alive, 4,731 remaining U.S. Army soldiers. Can they win? Alright guys, well pretty much all of the US Army soldiers we were watching here ended up perishing. There's still a couple more up here, but not that many. And these guys continue to flood on in. Those Sea Whizzes are, I think, carrying at the moment the US Army troops, so if they go down, it might as well be Jover for the boys. It's not going to be looking too pretty. We still got 4,350, now 39 US Army soldiers left alive. 207,000 of the enemies. So both sides are losing numbers by a lot, but I just can't tell who is going to catch this W yet. It's too hard to tell. I am genuinely not so sure who is capable of winning this thing. The medieval units have made quite the comeback, and they are closing in on a potential victory here, but the US Army still has powerful forces capable of doing big things, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won either. Honestly, I just don't know at this point. I just cannot say. So we'll continue to watch this. Let's watch like the middle ground here, because that way we can see 2 different entrance points. And yeah, this is a long one and a tough one for sure. Oh, things are not looking good for the U.S. Army, for sure, because currently 3,600 of them remaining, 163,000 enemies remaining. So it seems like they are depleting faster than the enemies relatively. That's not very fantastic. If they could find a good choke point position, though, for themselves to hold, I think they've got this. Maybe these guys like back here will be able to do a lot better, because these guys up here I think are just a little too exposed to the bowmen and stuff like that. They need those choke points to really play it out and also keep those Sea Whizzes alive for sure. Alright, let's continue. Oof, boys, this is not going well. Yeah, this is... Oh, lag. This is like the greatest comeback in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 history, bro. This is crazy. 826 remaining modern soldiers. It's only the guys in the corners here, and 101,000 remaining medieval units. Oh, it's getting spicy. Oh, lag spike. Let's keep her going. Oh, boys, and there we have it. The end of the battle. 5 modern soldiers remain somewhere. They're probably glitched somewhere, but that is insane. And we time-lapsed this entire battle. So there's a lot of footage for it, which is awesome. Oh, man. I can't believe it came down to 97,000 medieval units at the end of the day. 7.9 million died, and the last 100K won the day. That is absolutely insane. I cannot believe it. Honestly, I thought the modern soldiers had this in the bag, but they end up getting curb stomped at the very end. Genuinely, that is crazy to me. Either way, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.